Elizabeth Kotite, and welcome to Entertainment Life. Today we're talking about Rob Zombie's The Munsters. This is a new movie adaptation of the classic 1960s show, The Munsters. Before I start talking about Rob Zombie's movie, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my experience with the TV show. I love The Munsters TV show. The characters are great, the stories were very clever and funny, and they just felt grounded like a regular sitcom, but with, a monster family. And I enjoyed the hell out of this thing. Between the Addams Family and the Munsters, I feel like the Munsters are much better, which is why I'm really sad that they don't have more love and more movies and more things connected with them. So I was really excited when I heard they were coming out with a new movie. I was a little confused about an origin story, but I thought, hey, why not? That might be cool. I'd like to know how, Lily and Herman actually met. Here's the problem. And I gotta be honest here. This was bad. Really, really bad. It was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And to be honest, I don't think Rob Zombie has ever seen an episode of The Munsters ever. And the reason I believe that is because even though he claims to be this huge Munsters fan, all the characters were out of character. Herman Munster was selfish and self-absorbed and kind of a bum. I never would describe him that way, but yeah, he totally was, and he was kind of an idiot. And Lily seemed so naive, and she just didn't seem like herself. And Grandpa just didn't seem like himself. And there was a point, halfway through the movie, towards the end, when they actually come to America from Transylvania, and they start discriminating against normal-looking people. I was like, excuse me? No, they don't. That's not how the Munsters work. Munsters like people. Munsters are very nice to people. Have you ever seen an episode of this show? Honestly, Rob Zombie, have you? Because if you have, you would know every time a new person comes over, they invite them right into the house. Hey, how are you doing? It's so nice to meet you. This is Grandpa. This is Eddie. This is Marilyn. This is Lily. This is Herman. We're just such a great family here, and we would love to have you stay for lunch or dinner or something. Wouldn't that be nice? Maybe you'd like some tea. Would you like some tea? And then I was like, oh, you have to go. Oh, okay, well, I hope you come back soon. What? This movie didn't show any of that. None of that. In fact, the second they realized how normal everybody was, they started just discriminating against them in a second. What? Excuse me? What show is this supposed to be based on? Because it's not based on the Munsters I know. And for me, that was just a huge turnoff. Also, another thing. No, The Munsters was a sitcom. But the thing about comedy that a lot of people don't seem to realize is that it needs to be taken seriously. As an improv and sketch comedy performer myself, I know the more serious you are, and the more believable it is, no matter how outrageous the situation is, the funnier it is. The Munsters were funny because they were a grounded, serious family who did things and said things that made it seem kind of weird to us because they were monsters. But everybody treated them, more or less, like normal fucking people. These Munsters were outrageous and overblown. And to be honest, it didn't seem like anybody was taking this seriously at all. So it didn't seem like an homage to the TV show. It seemed more like a parody of the TV show. And that's not really telling me that you are a fan of the TV show. That's telling me you don't know anything about it. and are just giving me a dumb mess because that's just what you want to give me. Want to give all of us, actually. So I'm sorry to all of those people who wanted to have a Munsters movie. Unfortunately, this isn't it. And that's all I have to say. Bye, everyone.